Welcome to the installation guide for the Code Standard Tracker. For this installation, you will need a Apex workspace and a SQL connection to the underlying database. Begin by cloning my GitHub repo to your local machine. Simply clone it to your local desktop and then open it in your code editor of choice. I use VS Code. You'll see that this installation has been configured to match the standards of the Insum Starter Template. Much of this is documented in the README file. If I visit my workspace, you can see that I don't have the application standard tracker installed yet. If you want to clear your workspace of any possible conflicts, you can run the deinstall script. I'm going to go straight into running the release, which is the _.sql file in the release folder. It installs many tables and many triggers, a few database types, and a few views. Finally, it gets into installing the application itself. That done, I can return to my workspace, refresh the page, and I can see that the application has been installed. To log in, short of changing the authentication scheme, you'll need to configure a demo_user. Visit the Applications tab to add the applications you wish to evaluate with the defaulted tests. That done, you can then return to the standards, pick one at random, pick a test that you want to evaluate. I'm going to take a look at application pages have authorization schemes, and we can evaluate some of the underlying issues. I click the fail button, I visit the page that is violating the standard, and in this first instance, I'm going to correct the issue by giving it an authorization scheme. If I save that and then return to my report and refresh it, I'll see that that page has now been eliminated from the failure list. In this second instance, I can, again, visit the underlying issue. I'll say that this one is a false negative, so I'm going to mark it as valid. In this third instance, I'm again going to mark it as valid. Let's say I find this is tedious and I want to put off having to evaluate all of these. Maybe some of this is legacy and I want to decide later. So I'm going to filter on this legacy application and I'm going to bulk mark as legacy. Maybe I'll come back to it at a later date, but at least it won't clutter my failure inbox. I also want to call out that I have extended the application to include evaluating supporting database objects. I can link to the underlying objects for, in this instance, a package, and it gives me the line number of the offending issue, and then I can mark it as valid or correct the issue or mark it as legacy as before. To create or modify a test, you will have to create or modify the underlying view. Please find me on Twitter to chat about code standards. This is a community project and I welcome all ideas for new tests and enhancements.